Tonight we watched Tom and Jerry. So Aiden, what's the plot of Tom and Jerry?
Chloe Grace Moretz, who plays Hit Girl in Kick-Ass, is a girl named Kayla, and she's in the big city, New York, looking for a job. She fakes her way into a hotel job where she meets Tom Cat and Jerry Mouse. Hijinks ensue and there's an Instagram wedding. So Connor, what'd you think of Tom and Jerry?
I didn't care for it that much. I don't think I hated it as much as you. The Tom and Jerry stuff is fine. It's just Tom and Jerry antics. The main problem comes with the core plot. Our core plot being that of Kayla's and her hotel management, which is where a lot of the drama is. Every actor in the hotel is bad. You have veterans like Ken Jeong and Michael Pena in there, and they're bad. And Chloe Moretz, whatever the fuck, she's bad too. Hit Girl, she sucks. Because they're all talking to stupid fucking cartoon characters and they don't know how to do it. You need a seasoned
silent cartoon characters.
Right, well, I'll get to that, but you need a pro like X-Men. Cyclops from the X-Men. He's good at doing the animated character movies, relatively. Yeah. As good as you can get. You need people who are used to talking to CGI characters. This was definitely a paycheck because, I mean, Michael Pena, what has he got? The Ant-Man movies? That's the only reason I know who the fucking guy is. I mean, he's the guy you see and shit. Yeah. Ken Jeong I know from Community, but similar to Michael Pena, he's just kind of the funny man you see and shit. He's not a fucking actor. Yeah. And then Chloe Moretz or whatever, she's only famous because she played Hit Girl. And then she's been in some other stuff, but nothing really. So it kind of like was like a whole bunch of like C-list actors that come together and have to work off Tom and Jerry, who are silent cartoon characters. On that note, the art style, all the animals are the CG characters. They're like CG, but made to look like hand-drawn characters at the same time, which is an interesting idea. I understand why they did that for budgetary reasons, and I don't hate the style. That said, when you put the style in this very saturated real world that this movie is set in, it becomes weird and doesn't look good. It's also like the frame rate doesn't really match. Like I think they might have been cheap and did the drawings at like 18 frames a second or something, or were using a lot of double frames because they look a lot choppier against the 3D world or the real world. I don't really know. I almost think like a full movie in the animated style that it was in could have maybe worked with the colorful characters, but they don't fit well, and the characters and the actors have a hard time working off of them, which kind of makes the human plots not funny. And then you just have like this Instagram wedding and Fortnite dances, and I posted that on Instagram. And modern kids shit,
Tom
stuff
and Jerry
that
taking
kids
selfies.
Tom and Jerry taking selfies. It's like it's shit that is fucking just stupid. Like just make it an animated movie like Scoob or something. Set the whole thing in the animated world, and then essentially just make a Tom and Jerry movie in the 3D space. You could even have the same actors like voice characters. Like I don't understand, and just how it's shot. It just looks like shit. It's not funny. You have a lot of modern gags, which is cringy, especially juxtaposed with these old school cartoons from the 1940s and 50s that this is so reverent of, or not reverent, apparently. And there's just not much to say. It's just like, yep, there's Tom and Jerry and this weird idea, and it doesn't work out very well. It's reminiscent of things like the 3D Smurfs. I don't think it's nearly so terrible. I gave it a 1 star out of 5 on Letterboxd. I could have given it a half star. It doesn't feel that bad. I might have been willing to even give it a 1.5 stars, but honestly it just looks choppy and bad. It's hard to look at, and honestly all the characters are so flat and boring, and nothing of note or substance happens throughout the whole film, so Honestly, I thought it was shit. So Aiden, what did you think of Tom and Jerry?
I think the main conflict, the art style looks pretty good. It probably could have looked okay if it was a full animated feature. What makes it really weird, like the animation, the fucking transition for the Smurfs and Alvin and the Chipmunks and shit is way more clean in this because those are more.
At least.
Well, the Smurfs and Alvin and the Chipmunks are way more grounded, where they're kind of just like cartoons where they just like stand around and talk to each other and crap. Like I've never seen the Smurfs cartoon. I assume it's boring as fuck, but from what I know, like I think they kind of just like stand around in the woods.
They're like, I think they're like
talk
hippie,
to each other,
like some
and
kind of like
teach
hippie
each other
environmental
lessons about friendship and fucking respecting women or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Right.
I've never seen.
They
it,
don't
but-
have women to respect except
Yeah.
Mama Smurf, who just gets the train all the time.
But Tom and Jerry is the original Tom and Jerry, not like the modern shit where they just stick Tom and Jerry into random
Wizard of
movies.
Oz or whatever the fuck.
But the original shit is just like super violent slapstick where like Tom and Jerry are beating each other with fucking nail bats and having like blood pour out of their eyes
I mean,
and
it's
chopping their
reminiscent.
tails off and
It's
committing suicide and getting decapitated in the French Revolution.
It's like the Three Stooges except animated.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's it's golden age slapstick.
And when you juxtapose that with the real world, it's really fucking weird. And this movie also doesn't have like the edge to it that the old ones did. Like you don't see anything excessively violent. They kind of just like bonk each other a little bit, slap each other,
Right.
and then in the end they do Fortnite dances and take selfies together and become friends. It doesn't have the edge, and it's just really the entire slapstick thing really stands out in the real world, and the real world plot is really bad. And for some reason, this entire movie is scored with like cheap, shitty lo-fi hip hop. Like they have a Tribe Called Quest song at the start, and then the rest of it is just like generic Tribe Called
like a
Quest
fucking-
type beat.
They have like a 2 Chainz and Rick Ross song to score the credits.
Yeah.
Just weird when he's like,
It's
me and my
really
homie 2
weird.
Chainz come together for the
Tom and
Tom and Jerry soundtrack, baby. Rose. And then I feel like Rick Ross is
Also-
kind of like Wiz Khalifa, where he's on like every goddamn movie soundtrack. Like Rick Ross's fat ass shows up on the goddamn Tom and Jerry soundtrack.
All of
Who
the
else?
all of the animated characters, all the animals, like the voices in Tom's head and the mean cats that he doesn't like, are all portrayed as black. It's really weird. I don't understand the connection why Tom and Jerry is a black movie.
Based.
Is that? I don't mean that in a racist way. I don't get the connection between Tom and Jerry and hip hop. That's all I'm
Yes,
trying to
it's
say.
bizarre.
It's really
Probably
weird.
weirdly put, but yes.
It's
Tom
really
and
weird.
Jerry. I don't see what makes Tom and Jerry like, let's score this with the hip hop.
But then the human subplot is like fucking little orphan Annie runs a hotel.
See, and here's a big thing. So you look at like the Hanna-Barbera properties. I'm gonna break this down real quick. And you got like Scooby-Doo and Tom and Jerry as like the main pull-throughs.
Good ones.
The one, I mean, yeah,
The
the
ones people
Flintstones and the
remember.
Jetsons. Here's the thing. Scooby-Doo, at its core, are little Hardy Boys style mysteries, the cartoons. So you can extend that into a movie. You just take an episode, you make the plot slightly more complex, or even fucking not. Who really cares? You just make the shit. It's a 20-minute show. You stretch it to 75 minutes. The thing about Tom and Jerry is a fun cartoon to watch in terms of like early golden age cartoons, and it was impressive for what it did. Its impact was huge with like a lot of like rubbery cartoons of the 90s and such, taking inspiration. I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I'm going somewhere with this. Tom and Jerry ran their entire shorts collection from the golden age of Tom and Jerry as just Tom and Jerry fight each other. But then you
Yeah,
try
that's
to
the
make
whole thing.
these 75-minute movies to cash in on it. And this isn't the only one. There's also the Tom and Jerry movie and the 600,000 direct-to-DVD ones.
Willy Wonka, Wizard of Oz,
And
and
the
all
problem
that
is, Tom and Jerry as characters can't hold their own shit. But you can throw
They're
in
not
their
characters, they
slapstick
just
for
beat each
2
other.
minutes here and there.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you look at something like the Willy Wonka one, and Tom and Jerry, it's just Willy Wonka, but then when the kids, before the kids can get fully fucking bored of what's going on, they cut away to Tom and Jerry slapping each other around a little bit. And that's what this is.
Yeah,
this is a very generic, like, Nickelodeon original movie.
Incredibly neutered versions of Tom and Jerry because they're too scared to go all out like they used to.
I mean, honestly, I don't even mind a slightly neutered Tom and Jerry if there's creativity to match, but this is just like he pulls out mallet and smacks Jerry.
Well, this is all like recycling all the gags too, like the part where he falls through the piano and has the piano teeth in his mouth, which was a thing they did in the cartoons, and like all this, everything's just like reusing gags from the cartoons and sticking them in this shitty Disney Channel original movie about a girl who runs a hotel called like Hotel Girl.
Hotel Girl Instagram party adventure. The issue is the core issue is the story didn't need Tom and Jerry, and this story didn't need to go to theaters. It just had a budget because you had to animate the Tom and Jerry, which was kind of expensive. They throw in the hip hop music for God fucking knows why, and then you have this girl lead the movie, and her plot is essentially something you'd see in like Disney Channel, like I Run a Hotel, starring Disney Channel girl Demi Lovato or whoever the fuck. I don't know any of them anymore. I'm pretty out of the loop past like 2000.
I don't think she's on Disney Channel anymore.
I didn't even really know she started on Disney Channel.
I think she did.
I just know her for being like stalked. I know Zendaya was.
I think they were on the same show.
Her. Oh, I don't know. What the fuck do I know? It doesn't matter. Ariana Grande started there too, apparently.
No, she's on Nickelodeon. She's getting foot fucked by Dan Schneider.
We're all getting foot fucked. Well, the difference is Disney, you probably get casting couched. What would you rather, get full penetrated or just have your feet fucked by Dan the meat man Schneider? Anyhow, point is, it's a Disney Channel movie with expensive Tom and Jerry effects that have a nice, unique style. The issue is the style. It would be more in service of something animated. Honestly, just give a 75-minute slapstick of Tom and Jerry. Maybe throw them on a road trip. Have, I don't know, just fucking make up a plot. Make up a scenario and have Tom and Jerry and the cat and the dog and the other cat smack the fuck out of each other for 75 minutes. Would it be boring and have no plot? Basically. It's like an extended episode. Or even just call it Tom and Jerry and then make it like an anthology movie. Where you essentially just see like a modern new Tom and Jerry clips, but like modern and put into 75 minutes. Who cares? You don't need the stupid ass plot. And the unfortunate part is you do have a stylistically nice animation style that looks fairly unique. But then you fucking waste it on a stupid ass Disney movie. Disney Channel movie.
Yeah. So Gunnar, would you recommend Tom and Jerry?
No. It's fucking awful. Your kids might like it, probably. I'm sure this will make a fucking lot of money by the standards of what studios can do right now. It's on HBO Max. I guess if you want to, while you're cooking dinner, throw your fucking children in front of there. I don't have fucking kids, so I have no excuse for watching this piece of shit. If I had a child, at least I'd have an excuse on why I wasted an hour and 45 minutes watching Tom and fucking Jerry the movie. So, Aiden, would you recommend Tom and Jerry the movie? No. Not the movie, just Tom and Jerry is what this is called.
No.
You heard it here first, folks.
Bye.